What's up guys, I'm back with another DC Universe Online Styles video, and this one is an update to the video on my Arrow Season 4 Green Arrow suit. This is an updated version of that suit, and probably my definitive version of that, meaning it would probably not be updated to anything else with different pieces of gear. As far as the ones that I know about that I've seen in videos and people wearing, this is the best that I could come up with. Now you might be saying, what about the Missionary of Hope? It doesn't work for me personally, just because it's kind of big, and his jacket is kind of small to kind of slim him down and make him, kind of smaller. And the Missionary of Hope just looks kind of big, and this chest piece here has shoulder pads already on it that look really nice and really close to the shoulder pads in the show. And if you can look, when you look on the shoulders, there's like these little bands, like belts and straps that go over the shoulders like he has in the show. So that's pretty nice and close. The shapes on the chest is not the exact same, but it has those cool weird shapes into it, which really makes it look similar to the show in that kind of aspect. The only thing that isn't really close and accurate is the pants, just because of the pouches. They're too big. If they were smaller pouches, it would be perfect, and the knee pads are a little bit smaller. But other than that, this is a pretty cool style and pretty close to the show. Now there is Logistics Officer, which I'll show you, which you could use, but I just don't like the way it looks really. From the chest colors that green and the pants color the green, they match really well, so that's why I went with those. Alrighty, so here we go. Now I will be making an updated Green Arrow style for a different Green Arrow. I do want to work on one. I just need to get the Missionary of Hope, which I said doesn't work for this, but it really looks nice for other Green Arrow styles. Maybe even basing it off of the ones from the game, the in-game Green Arrow, which is what I really want to base one off of, but I don't have a nice chest piece that looks good. This chest piece is alright, but the piece that's not green, that black piece, if you make it tan like his actual stuff, it just doesn't look right in my opinion, so that's why I haven't gone with it. It just doesn't look right. That's weird. So that's why I just haven't used it to make it. But I have pretty close materials to make the actual Green Arrow from the game. So if I get Missionary of Hope, that would be nice, and to work on my own custom style, because I really like Balkan's Green Arrow style that he did, basing off of one of his friends that let him use his style to show off. I really liked it. That was really cool. I like the belt. I just don't have the Vengeance belt, which sucks because it looks really cool for that style, and I would replicate that style and probably wear it just because of how cool it looks. But anyway, I'm gonna quit rambling and we're gonna get right into this. So our green is 00C00. It's a nice green, nice dark, light enough that you can know it's green, like his in the show. Then the solid black, and then a skin tone of AD 5320, which is the exact same skin tone as my actual. Forgot I changed I was basing a Batman style off of the in-game Batman, trying to match his skin tone, but it didn't work, so I'll go back to my actual skin tone that I use all the time. I forgot about that. Yeah, it didn't work too well for the Batman style, but oh well. Alrighty. So for the headpiece, we are actually using the Druid headpiece because I like how it looks with the piece. It doesn't have the runes on it. Yeah, I'll tell you what I get in a second because I'm pretty sure I remember where to get it. The face piece is Archer because of the fact that it doesn't have the white eyes, like his actual mask doesn't give him white eyes in the show because of its real life. So I went with the Archer. No shoulders because the chest already has shoulders on it. No emblem. The hands are Fourth World, and these are probably the closest you're going to get to the actual hands. And I've seen people that when they make their Season 4 Green Arrow style, when they make their Green Arrow style, they use like Sinestro. Whoa. Sinestro. That's not close at all, in my opinion. Now you can hate on me all you want, but looking at pictures, I was looking at cosplays of the suit because they make replicas of that suit and then they put it on display in brightly lit rooms so you can see the details. And his gloves on the bottom sides are open. They are open on the bottoms, and it's just a small patch of green on the top, and the glove is black. The Sinestro doesn't give you that. I've seen some people even do, say, Spec Ops. That's a little bit closer, but still not accurate. But in my opinion, the Fourth World, if you're going for accuracy, is probably the closest you're going to get It gives you the 2 straps going over the arm like he has. The skin showing underneath. Now the only thing that's not really accurate is the fact that the fingers are skin color when it should be completely closed in, but that's a small thing you can get over, and the sections of green are in the right place. There's a section on the forearm, on the top of the forearm, and a section on the top of the hand, matching his actual gauntlets from the show. They're just a little bit thicker than his actual ones. Or maybe just the right thickness to match up with it. So yeah, hate me in the comments how you want about glove choice, but I think these are the definitive ones for Arrow Season 4. The feet are trim cuffed because it does give him the little loop, the fold down section on the top of the boot. If you don't want to use those, you can be able to get away with retro tech. It's just people that I've seen that make their styles with Green Arrow for like Arrow, they do use these, and I agree, they do look the closest. Even though they don't lace up, they still look the closest. Alrighty. Chest, like I said, is Talon Lord. The definitive Arrow Season 4 chest piece, in my opinion. It's got the pieces on the shoulders. Right, where the shoulder pads are, then there's like the little raised up section, and then the chest piece that looks and matches the belts and the straps that he has in the show. It's just missing some black details, but that's fine. The chest piece has the same kind of weird shapes to it and look to give it that, gives it the look of the Green Arrow from Season 4. How they went with designing his costume. And in the legs, are checkmate informant, because like I said, there is the logistics officer, but they just don't look right to me, especially if I'm not wearing a waist piece, because he doesn't have like a utility belt, which they should probably add one. Maybe they will add one the next season or two, maybe. Like give him a utility belt. They might even change the costume completely to a more traditional, classic comic book related Green Arrow, since they did kind of the Flash, how he's really close to the comic books. This Green Arrow is not really close to the way the comics look, as far as what I've seen of Green Arrow comic pictures and what he's wearing now. Just doesn't look that similar, so maybe they might give him a more classic one. And anyway, yeah. So like I said, he has a utility belt in the comics, but in a lot of the comics anyway, but not the Arrow show. He doesn't have a utility belt. I think he could really benefit from one though. I think it would just make the costume look a little more like a superhero costume. Instead of like motorcycle armor and gear, like some people compare it to, which the Season 1 was basically just motorcycle gear that he used as his costume. So, yeah. So maybe Cisco might give him a utility belt later on in Season 4. Who knows? But like I said, here's the logistics officer. The pouches are still about the same size. It's just kind of changing the way the material looks, and there's knee pads on here, but they're a lot smaller. They're not really profound at all. It's just one of those things of preference, but I like kind of I like the way the pants make because it makes the logistics officer makes his legs look way too slim. These make him look a little bit like he works out and he's kind of buff. It just helps with that overall look to match the Green Arrow, in my opinion. Not to be weird, but that's the best way I can put it. Even though there is the big knee pads on the bottom, which he doesn't really wear. He does have some knee pads, but they're not that big. I can get over that fact. It don't bother me a bit. On the back is quiver. He doesn't use Archer, like I previously put down. Looking at the the cosplays with the quiver, it is this kind of round quiver with it's green. You can't really tell that it's green on here, but it is because of the fact that my green is so dark to make it accurate. You just can't really tell. And the skin is the youthful skin. Oh, and the hair. I'll do the hair. The hair is mid-veil, and I'll show you the color. It is 4F411A. That's what I use for the hair color to match the stubble that he has. Alright, so for colors, we have the headpiece is slot 1 green, slot 2 and 3 black. Face piece is all green. Hands are slot 1 black, slot 2 skin color, slot 3 green. No waist. Feet are slot 1 and 2 black, slot 3 green, because of the fact that the folded over bit is supposed to be green, but we can't make that whole bit green, but we can make the outline, and it makes some of the boot part green, but that's fine. The chest is slot 1 green, slot 2 black, and then slot 3 doesn't matter, so you make it black. Legs slot 1 and 3 green, slot 2 black, and the back is slot 1 black, slot 2 and 3 green. There you guys go. That is my opinion, the definitive Arrow Season 4 Green Arrow suit. You can talk about it in the comments. Tell me what you think would look better to match it, and I'll put it on if I have the piece, or if it's really easy to obtain. I'll look it up and I might put it on and it might look better. But from what I've seen, from what I've looked at people's styles in the games and the ones that I have, this is probably the best you can get for Green Arrow. I know a lot of people say that they have the definitive. I'm just saying mine looks really accurate to the show, compared to what people have made for Arrow Season 4 Green Arrow styles on YouTube, and looking at pictures and stuff like that. Closest that I've seen. So we'll go down here, do like I did with the last one and show you some combat. There's a person. Oh yeah, and I will show you the bow that I'm using as well to do that, just in case you want to. This is the bow that I use. And then when I get done with this, I will tell you, since I'm going to show you the bow, how to get the bow, and I'll tell you how to get every other piece of gear like I usually do. I just completely forgot about it. I did this whole video so seriously talking about different things, and it was just like, I forgot to tell you where to go, piece of gear. Okay, yeah, we're going to do that. Alright, here we go. Back up to my perch. Sorry, somebody stole it. Good. Yeah, you couldn't do this in PvP. Like, trust me. You couldn't do this in PvP. Alright, sorry, I'm picky about how I place myself, but whatever. Alright, so, if we were to get these pieces, the hair you can get in the aquacultural room in the watchtower. The headpiece is one of the police stations. The druid headpiece is from one of the police stations, is where I got it, because I watched a video about how you can get the new Genesis leg style at one of the police stations. I went to every police station. You cannot get the new Genesis leg style in any of the police stations. Okay? Just know that you cannot get the new Genesis leg style, which sucks. Because I really want it for Batman and other styles like Deathstroke and stuff like that. But well, yeah, you can get it at one of the police stations. I'm pretty sure the face piece is a investigation or a briefing. Just look it up on YouTube. You can find it really easily. The hands are in the tutorial level. When you first start in the Brainiac ship, it is like the first piece of gear you get. That's pretty easy to get. Waist, since there's nothing. The feet are the war room. Pretty easy. A little bit of money, you're good to go. Chest piece, I got mine in the Monarch Playing Card Company, where you fight Deathstroke. I tried that level so many times to get Deathstroke chest, and I haven't. I've gotten Talon Lord chest and shoulders a bunch of times, but not the Deathstroke chest, which is what I really want to make another Green Arrow based off of the Arrow show. Because of the way the color scheme works, it would work really well for Arrow if I can get it. I just haven't been able to get it yet, which sucks. Oh well. The legs you can get in the Watchtower in the Hall of Heroes, next to the Aeronaut armor vendor, or armory thing, where it shows out the Aeronaut styles. The guy to the left, if you're looking at the Aeronaut style to the left, that bot will be the one that sells you these pieces of gear, or actually just styles, and they don't have any armor. Back is in the war room. The skin is at the, if you don't have it already, you get this in at Star Labs. You talk to the woman at Star Labs and you can get it from her. And then the tech bow, I don't remember where you get the tech bow. I didn't start with the bow as my weapon. I started with staff, and I changed to the bow later on. So yeah. So if you don't have that, just go to like the East End police station for sure. I know that one. Go in there and buy the bow that you get when you get out. Like if you buy the first bow that you can upgrade and get like the upgrade up from when you get the character creation bow, when you go up, you get that one. Pretty sure, yeah, you get that bow style right there. And it'll work, because just how it is. So yeah, there's that one. The regular bow will serve you just fine to look like Green Arrow. But the one I use is the tech bow. If you know where to get it, put it in the comments. Just because it has that techie look that he has in season 4. Yeah, there's the recurve. Just doesn't look right, really. The tech bow. Yeah, his bow in these things is like a black and gray color. So make it all black for the bow. There you go. All black bow. There you guys go. Arrow Season 4, Green Arrow, in my opinion, the definitive